welcome y'all to behind the scenes of Sherman's March.
I'm from South Carolina, a little town on the coast called Georgetown, which Sherman did not burn. My grandmother, when we were young, would tell us stories of the South, as great Southern grandmothers do. And Sherman is a part of all of these stories. Almost every Southern town that was not burned in Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina has a reason they were not burned. Usually it's a romantic myth. Sherman didn't burn our town because he had a mistress here, or because it was so beautiful. But everybody wants that connection with this great Southern villain.
It will tear Georgia apart.
Fire!
I heard that they were auditioning for General Sherman, and he has always been a figure of great controversy where I'm from. And I thought, this would be interesting. And so I fooled around with the makeup a little and sort of resembled him. And I thought, wouldn't it be funny if they chose a guy from South Carolina, of all places, to play General William T. Sherman? And they did.
Grand.
I have for years been portraying historical figures in their own words, Mark Twain and John F. Kennedy. I like to take people's own words and use them, and that was what was so appealing about this script. All of the dialogue that myself and the other actors are speaking is actual dialogue from the period.
Action!
War is cruelty. There is no use trying to reform it. The crueler it is, the sooner it will be over.
I had no second thoughts about playing Sherman because I'm a Southerner. I thought it would be fun, but I had no idea who Sherman really was. And reading Rick King's script and doing the research, which he asked me to do, I've learned so much about Sherman and have so much of a greater respect for him and understand his reasoning for doing what he did. It's still fun to hate him, but the actual history is quite different from the myth.
Rolling and action!
What better set of stories can you have than, a Civil War story for America? It's great.
It's going to take you right back to the time. It's going to take you right in there. It's going to be visceral. It's going to be gritty. And you're going to feel like you're really in the battlefield. And you're going to get a sense of how big the march was.
It'll be good to set the record straight on some things, and no matter how hard they are, to face the fact that it did happen.
That's right. Got to keep your boys fed.
This is a psychological profile of Sherman. It's getting into his head. It's understanding how he moved, how he worked, and what his motives were for the march.
Come along, boys. We shall make 10 miles today.
He will still be controversial. Sherman will always be controversial, but perhaps after seeing Sherman's march, people will say, here's why he did what he did. You can still debate it, but it makes history so much richer and more interesting to know him as a human being. After retiring from the Army, Sherman devoted himself to painting and theater. He died in New York in 1891. And here we are also ending this behind the scenes of Sherman's March. Be sure to tune in and watch the show, right here on the History Channel. From Virginia, I'm Bill Oberst Jr. So long.
On April 22nd, you'll get to relive one of the most important campaigns of our nation's history. Don't miss the spectacular reenactment of Sherman's March with a strong commitment to historical accuracy. The Civil War battlefield will look as real as ever. Sherman's March, April 22nd, as only the History Channel can bring you.